Welcome to Group 6. Today we are exploring the exciting world of private financial institutions, which empower individuals and businesses with tailored financial solutions that drive growth and innovation. Let's discover their vital role in financial landscape. Now, let me introduce my subordinate. I, Jan Valasyanko, the leader of this group. Mr. Mohamed Macapanton, Mr. Gosson Christian, Mr. Binyas Rolando, Ms. Calcita Leslie, Ms. Stella Diniz, Ms. Rio Caril, and Ms. Malupa Bernalin. I'm John Polasyanko, so let's start the discussion. What is private banking? Private banking is a specialized financial service tailored for high net worth individual na nag-o-offer ng personal banking and wealth management solution. This includes the service included a variety offering of such as investment and portfolio management, tax planning, insurance product, and trust and estate planning, all provided under one roof. Ang goal ng private banking is to address the unique financial needs of affluent clients na nag-i-ensure na makaka-receive sila ng comprehensive support in managing and growing their wealth. Clients in private banking are typically assigned as a dedicated relationship manager or private banker na nagsiserve as their primary point of contact. This personal attention allowed the banker to become intimately familiar with their client financial solution na nag-enable sa kanila to provide an advice and service. In addition, yung standard banking service, private banking often include tricks such as preferential pricing on loan, access to exclusive investment opportunity, and invitation to special event. So, yung private banking, nag-i-aim siya to deliver high-touch experience that simplifies and enhance the financial management process for wealthy individual. The continuous of private banking, paano naman ito gumagana o how it is work? Private banking is a specialized financial service designed for high net worth individual na nag-o-offer ng personalized banking and investment solution na kung saan mamimit dapat yung kailangan ng bawat client. At the core of the private banking, ito yung tinatawag na relationship manager. Ito yung dedicated professional responsible for understanding clients' financial goals and providing comprehensive advice across the various aspects of wealth management. This include not only traditional banking service like checking and saving account, but also more complex to na nag-offer din ng investment strategy, financial planning, and customized financial option. Yung relationship manager, sila yung nag-aaka sa trusted advisor na nag-coordinate and specialize in the area like tax planning, estate management, and investment management para ma-ensure yung ma-ensure ng lahat ng client yung needs nila at ma-meet yung gusto nila. So, yung approach ng private banking is emphasized to building a long-lasting relationship based on trust and personal service. Relationship manager engage in the deep discovery process to assess client, yung background nila, and motivate and financial objective na nag-aalaw sa kanila na mag-recommend ng pinaka-best solution ng investment product and strategy. Itong client-centric model na to is further enhancement by the integral of technology which help the streaming service and maintaining the ongoing communication regarding the market development and the portfolio performance. So, yung mga client, nag-i-increase sila ng seek of comprehensive solution na nag-encompass the both financial asset and personal value. Itong private banking na nag-continue to evolve and focus on delivering exceptional service while adapting to the changes of landscape of wealth management. And that's all.
A commercial bank is a financial institutions that provide various financial services to individuals and businesses. It accepts deposit from customers and uses these funds to make loans. Kumikita ang mga bangko sa pamamagitan ng pagsingil ng interes sa mga pautang na kanilang ibinibigay na mas mataas kaysa sa interes na binabayad nila sa mga deposito. Ang pagkakaiba ng mga rate ng interes na ito ang nagbibigay daan sa mga bangko upang kumita ng tubo. Bukod pa rito, nag-aalok din sila ng iba't ibang serbisyong pinansyal, tulad ng checking account, saving account, at iba pa.
Good day everyone, I'm Bernalyn Malupa. I'm the one who will discuss about primary function of commercial bank. Commercial bank provide basic banking services and products to the general public. both individual consumers and businesses. Business banking services also include bank account, investment, and lending products. Commercial banks also provide their business client with merchant services, which allow companies to accept payment electronically from their customers. In essence, commercial banks act as intermediaries between saver and borrowers, helping to allocate financial resources efficiently. Here are the two primary functions of commercial bank. So the first one is accepting deposit. Accepting deposit is one of the primary functions of commercial bank. It involves collecting money from individuals and businesses and holding it securely. So this collected money or deposit becomes a source of funds for the bank to lend out to borrowers. So commercial banks typically offer several types of deposit accounts. The first one is saving accounts. These accounts are designed for individuals to save money over time. They usually offer a modest interest rate. The second one is current accounts. It also has checking account. These accounts are used for day-to-day transactions such as paying bills and making purchases. So the third one is fixed deposit. So these accounts require customer to deposit a fixed sum of money for a specific period. So in return, the bank pays a higher interest rate than savings accounts. So accepting deposit is important in commercial bank by funding loans, generating interest income, facilitating economic activity, and providing financial services. The second one is providing loan. Providing loan is another core function of commercial bank. By lending money to individuals and businesses, banks play a crucial role in stimulating economic activity. Commercial banks offer a variety of loans to meet different financial needs. The first one is personal loans. So these are unsecured loans that individuals can use for various purposes, such as debt consolidation, home renovation, or medical expenses. The second one is home loan or mortgage. These are secured loans used to purchase real estate. The properties serve as collateral for the loan. Third one is auto loan. This loan help finance the purchase of vehicle. The fourth one is business loan. So these loans are provided to businesses for various purposes, including expansion, working capital, and equipment purchases. In essence, providing loans, commercial banks play a vital role in economy, contributing to economic growth, job creation, and overall prosperity. That's all. May I call on the next reporter, Miss Calcita?
Thrift banks. Thrift banks are essential financial institutions that promote savings, support small businesses, and stimulate economic growth. They differ from commercial banks, which focus on larger corporations and high-value investments. Thrift banks, including savings and mortgage banks, private development banks, stock savings and loan associations, and microfinance thrift banks, aim to accumulate savings from depositors and channel them into productive investments. They enable individuals and communities to build financial security by encouraging and facilitating savings, which can be the first step towards achieving life goals like home ownership, education, or starting a small business. Thrift banks also commit to reinvesting deposits into the economy through lending and financing, crucial for economic development. They play a significant role in sectors like agriculture, housing, and service industries, which are often underserved by mainstream financial institutions.
The thrift institution began with the establishment of the customer-owned building in society in the United Kingdom. At the beginning of the 18th century, in the United States, the first successor to the UK's customer-owned building society was referred to as Saving and Loan Association. One of the main impetus for the founding Saving Loan and Association in the US was to make improvements to the market for mortgage in the US. At the beginning of the 20th century, the typical US mortgage was 5 to 10-year interest-only loan that had to be refinanced or paid off with a large balloon payment. At the end of the term, homeowners often default on these payments, especially as levels of unemployment rose. During the Great Depression, as levels of unemployment rose in 1932, President Herbert Hoover passed the Federal Home Loan Bank Act, an act that was aimed at encouraging home ownership by providing member banks with source of a low-cost funds for use extending mortgage. This act was the first series of the bills that sought to make home ownership a more achievable goal for more Americans in the first half of 20th century.
Good day everyone, I'm Rolando Biñas and I'm going to discuss the different types of trips bank. First one, savings banks. Ang savings banks ay ginagamit ng tao para mag-deposit ng kanilang mga pera sa bangko. Bukod dun ay nag-offer din sila ng loans like cash loans and buying house that uses loans as bayad dito. Pangalawa ay ang private development banks. Ang bank naman na ito ay nakatuon lamang sa mga nag-o-offer ng puhunan para sa mga gusto magtayo at magsimula ng kanilang maliit na negosyo at mga proyekto para sa komunidad. Lastly, stock savings and loans. Ang mga bangko naman na tulad nito ay pag-aari ng mga shareholders at nagbibigay din sila ng mga pautang. Mas priority nila pautangin ang mga personal loans kaysa sa mga negosyo.
For example, let's say there's a small rural bank in farming village. A local farmer comes in needing funds to buy fertilizer and seeds for this next harvest. The rural bank provides him with a loan. With this money, he can grow more crops, make a bigger income, and support his family. In this way, rural banks are helping the local economy by giving farmers and small businesses the support they need to grow and succeed.
As proceed naman po sa function ng rural banks. So the primary focus of rural banks is to address the credit needs of farmers, fishermen, cooperatives, and merchants in rural areas. These banks play a crucial role also to the community by promoting and expanding the rural economy by offering essential financial services. Rural banks specifically cater to individuals and businesses within rural communities, ensuring accessibility to financial resources. Next is the importance of rural banks. They primarily target agricultural financing, which is vital for enhancing the economic conditions of farmers, helping them invest in farming activities. Rural banks also support small businesses by providing essential credit, enabling them to thrive and contribute to the local economy. By focusing on underserved populations, rural banks significantly contribute to financial inclusions in these communities. Now, let us talk about the differences between rural banks and cooperative banks. When it comes to ownership, rural banks is privately owned primarily by individuals or families, while cooperative banks owned and controlled by their members, emphasizing democratic decision making. When it comes to purpose, rural banks focus on agricultural financing and enhancing the economic conditions of rural communities, while cooperative banks serve a dual purpose, catering to both rural and urban areas with a broader range of financial products. When it comes to regulatory framework, rural banks regulated under specific legislation aimed at rural development initiatives, while cooperative banks governed by cooperative laws which emphasize the importance of mutual assistance among members.